Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm KRX and this is our beginner playthrough of Castile with all DLCs updated for the 1.3 Austria patch. Of course, we have a playlist down below to get you caught up on the series. If you're just joining us sort of midway through, we have actually played about 7 years of the game so far, including a lengthy setup period where we were building a foundation of understanding of the game, right? We're really trying to take things step by step. There's a lot of details in the game that we're completely just passing over. We just don't even care about. We're really just looking at the things that we need to be able to play and enjoy the game and make decisions and advance towards our goals. And we're trying to take everything one step at a time, sort of a more tactical approach than a strategic approach. And we have this civil war. The civil war has happened. It has happened. It's not going away. Apparently, we're losing our great power status. How does that work out exactly? But apparently, that's a thing. I'm just noticing that's popping up. I don't know if that's just because maybe the Timurids are sort of just making moves on this or something, or I don't know. We might get that back when we take over Granada. We're in a war also against Granada. We can see from the diplomatic screen. We can see that we're at war with all the people in red here. Aragon's our ally, but they're not fighting with us in the war, so they're just in blue. Portugal has broken the alliance with us. They didn't like the fact that we wanted some of the same land that they wanted in North Africa, and they wanted to break our alliance because of that. Portugal loves us, though. They love us, and they're totally willing to befriend us again. It's just that they, for whatever reason, just didn't want to at the time. So we have to make a decision on who we support here. And I think we're going to actually have Aragon. Comes the heir. Ooh. Well, that's not... I like the fact that family, we want to maintain that dynasty. But the heir that we have is so much stronger. The heir we have is good. Oh, this is actually we could support this guy. We'd lose 20 legitimacy, which is kind of a bummer. Or we could gain a strong heir, which I feel like that would set us up for a lot of stability. It brings us closer to Aragon as well, which could be nice. We are hoping to eventually get the union with Aragon, and I don't know if this is going to allow us to do that or not. A noble of the family. It doesn't say if it's male. I guess there's a chance that this could be a female, which could bring us much closer to Aragon in a sense that if we have a female ruler and they have a male ruler, we'd actually become a under a personal union, right? So when we hit this, we know that we're gonna have a rise up here. We're gonna have a rise up here and a rise up in Lyon. The thing is, we could actually try to position our troops ahead of time for that. The thing is, I do not want... We need to leave a token force behind. Man, this is tricky. This is tricky. We need to figure out the exact amount of troops that we need to send up to deal with this. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Let's actually take the cav and like a solid 7,000 here. We'll have these 10,000 back here to defend the area. So that's they're going to be able to reinforce Fez if need be, and so on and so forth. So let's get these guys up here into the positions where we're expecting these rebellions to take place. Essentially. Now there's a few things we're letting this float. We can let these events float for a second while we get our troops in position, like what we did last time with the rebellion up here in Vizcaya. So this is kind of an interesting situation here because this is kind of an engagement that we need to take. We don't have a general though, and a general would be very, very important for this. What we can do though is we can actually send our general. That's actually kind of an interesting idea. We can send our cav back here with our general to Ceuta. We can regroup with these 10,000 with our general and then attack into Tangiers, and hopefully that would be a good battle with 13,000 plus. We have an advanced military technology on Morocco. That military technology is a big deal. Looks like these guys down here have a military tech 4, so we want to make sure that we don't fight these guys because it'll take on their technology. We'll get past to any of the other units in the battle. These guys are grouping up here. We don't have our leader to spare for them. We could get another general, and actually that would probably be a good move. Let's get another general. That's not a good one, but we'll take it because it's very expensive to get the generals. Actually, you know what? We could make our ruler a general. Because that makes him more likely to die, which is a good thing right now. We want him to die. So let's boot this guy out. We don't need him anymore. He's not that great. To be fair, our ruler didn't roll that well either, but he's better than nothing. He's better than nothing. So let's get one on the battlefield. We should have done that earlier. So this is saying the Renaissance is spawned. The Renaissance has spawned, and we could see it is spawned in Rome. The Renaissance is spawned in Rome. Well, we have a good relationship with the Pope. That could be good. This changes everything. This is an institution. We haven't talked about this, but our technologies get there's blockers to our technology. We're going to be getting an institution tech penalty if we do not embrace the Renaissance. Now, we're going to be slowly embracing it passively, and as it spreads through Italy, it'll eventually reach to us passively. But if we let it just slowly spread, it'll take a long time. There's other ways that we can do to influence the embracement of the Renaissance, and we'll have to see how that works over time. But right now, just know that we're building a technology penalty. We don't want to pay a technology penalty. We want to pay less points. We don't want to pay more points for technology. We want to pay less. So technology penalty, very bad. 1% per year, as long as we do not embrace the Renaissance. So if we leave that, it goes up to 50% technology penalty. Wowzers, that is not good. Wait a second, what is this? No, how is it? Wait a second, how is it not letting us walk to Tangiers? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Okay, let's support the Aragonese candidate here. So we have one engagement here. I did not realize that they would immediately take control of that fort. That's kind of annoying. That's actually super annoying. So we're in the middle of the Civil War here. You know, the truth is, I don't know why it's not letting us move that. I think that's the silliest thing in the world. We could easily move to Tangiers. We own Tangiers right now, but it's not letting us move to Tangiers. That's just silly. That's just completely silly. We've won this engagement here. We can see that there's going to be a new rebellion is going to rise up in this province. We can hit F to search for this. Palencia. Okay, up here. Now the interesting thing is these are pretenders as well. They're all pretenders. If we go down here and we actually look and see, we accept their demands. They want a 2, 3, 4. Gomez the First. They want a Gomez the First to take over. That's what they want if we accept that. But I don't think we're going to do that. Aragonese involvement, nice. They gave us some manpower. So it's kind of a race right now between. Here's the interesting thing. I'm going to get our leader to go do this siege on Fez. Okay, this is getting a little out of hand here, guys. It's getting a little out of hand here. Where is this now? Grand something or other. Search for that. Down. Ooh, that would be amazing. Let's do that. Because that's actually what that's going to do, is that's actually going to have these guys fighting each other. They have a good general, but they're going to lose. They're going to get bopped. So they're actually, those rebels just besieged enemy territory because they had sieged it from us. But there you go. So we're kind of trying to micromanage the rebellion with the fewest troops that we can manage, which is not exactly like the most advisable thing in the world. The pretenders are also very fierce fighters. We're at 0% here, so we are winning the base race of taking Fez before they take Tangiers. They're trying to take Tangiers, we're trying to take Fez. We've already taken Tangiers from them, now we're trying to take it again. We are spending manpower to recover these guys. Oh, that's annoying. That's actually really annoying. I'm gonna get rid of this dude. This guy's a chump. He has to I think he has to be replenished with sailors. We don't have any sailors. We don't have any sailors. So I'm really not that interested in having him sort of operate. I'm trying to make sure that we're not running into sailor deficit. Here we go. We're building sailors now. We have our main ships out, our combat ships out. We're building sailors. We do want to engage these guys. They don't have a very good general. We have a much better general. The thing is, you need a good front line of infantry in order to protect the cavalry. Otherwise, once you get insufficient support, once the cavalry is sort of overwhelmed, yeah, it's not good. We are taking out the rebellions. We're at 21% down here in Fez, so we need, like, ideally, like, if we get that 21%, we're in good shape. Why is it? I still can't believe it's not letting us, like, move over from a way that we've already moved once before. Losing legitimacy is okay. We're gaining a certain amount of legitimacy. Legitimacy has to do with stability and all kinds of really good positive things. I'm going to just lose that because I don't want to lose the points. Our admin points, our diplo points, our military points are precious. We're already kind of a little bit behind in technology, to be honest. A little bit behind. We're not that far from actually winning. We have a 7% chance to take Tangiers. We have a 35% chance to take Fez. It all comes down to this, guys, in a big, big way. Do we get the 35% chance? We got it. We got it. Now, Morocco is still one military tech behind us. What we could do... I see what the issue is here. We'll get there on the 23rd. You guys will get there on the 17th. So it's only going to take 6 days for you guys to get there. So if we move on the 17th, I'm going to try to time this in a way that our troops are sort of getting here together. But I also want to make sure we have the best possible general that we can get there. You're going to get there on the 19th. So let's swap generals. This should be a pretty decisive battle against Morocco here. I don't want to lose dudes if we don't have to, but that is just a good basic decisive battle there. What I think we're going to try to do here, I'm going to let's get our good general back over here so we can defend against these rebels, because those rebels might move into there. They don't really have anywhere else to move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, I'm going to split the army, okay? So we're going to create new unit. I'm just going to grab we need 1,000, you need 1,000 troops to siege a province, okay, that doesn't have a fort. It doesn't have a fort. These guys with our king are going to come down here. And we're basically just doing a little bit of a carpet siege, a classic little carpet siege right here. Moving through, what I'm trying to do is disengage the navy here in such a way that we can just pick these guys off. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to delay that just a touch. Because these ships are about to be disengaged. Right there, that's 1,000 dead. Good. Over here. Okay, big battle. And we're just sort of obliterating the Moroccan navy, basically, is all that's happening here. So Morocco has decisively lost the battle. The war, right? So let's go in here and let's see what we can take from Morocco. Morocco, let's grab Tangiers. You'll give it to us? Great. Perfect. I like it. Let's come down here. Let's grab this, which is war reparations. They'll pay us money, but they don't want to do that right now. They don't feel like doing that. We could keep pushing for more land. What the heck? We're winning the war against Morocco. Let's keep winning it. Let's keep winning it. We have a lot of pressure here with these guys, though, no joke. But the Civil War is technically docile, What we need to do with the civil war now is we need to get our troops, like, again, sieging these down, right? Besieging all this land. Getting it back into our control. That's a bad battle right there. Okay. That's 1,000 dudes that are not going to make it home, unfortunately. Okay, so Morocco, what are you feeling here, dude? Ongoing battles of -21. Yep, that is, we are heavily outnumbered with that one. Everybody get home. Everybody get home. Time to go home. They will pay us war reparations. We can take a province, they'll pay us war reparations. They might, nope, they're not going to give us any money. Alternatively, we could have them keep their money and we could just take cash, but it's not, I think the war reparations, 10% of their income for the next 10 years, definitely better. Let's get Morocco out of this war. Booyah. Morocco is gone. We have Tangiers. We now have our own foothold on sort of Northern Africa, independent of Portugal's relationship with us. There's a few things that are happening because of this. Now we have 100% with Granada, right? We separate pieced out. I apologize, guys. What we did is we went, so to open up the peace screen, man, I went way too fast on that, guys. I apologize. Bear with me for a second. I apologize. It's easy to take this stuff for granted. We're going to go really slow with the Granada one. But basically what we did is we went into sue for peace here. So you're opening, I'm hitting the crest. I'm going up here. Sue for peace. I clicked on Morocco's crest, the Moroccan crest here. And that let me deal with Morocco directly. I gave them a separate peace deal to get out of the war. It wasn't the... Granada is the war leader. They're the ones that are in charge of the ultimate fate of the war itself. We'll never be out of the war until we get Granada out of the war. But in this situation, we were able to get Morocco to separate peace out, take a little bit from them, and then also weaken Granada's sort of diplomatic leverage, right? Now Morocco, we have an unconditional surrender from Morocco. We're at low enthusiasm. We have 100% war score, and they've been 100% sieged. These are provinces that they still belong to Granada, but in the context of the war, we control them. We have occupied them, but that doesn't mean that we have diplomatically taken them and said, hey, this is our land now. That's what we do in the peace deal. The peace deal is where we take the land. So we can come here and we can take this land, and there's a few things that we're looking at here. It costs us a certain amount of diplomatic points, but because we have justified reason to take this war, it's not going to cost us any. We have claims on all this land. Claims prevent us from having to pay diplomatic points when we're going through the primary war leader. When we took the Tangiers from Morocco, Morocco wasn't the main target of the war, so we had to pay diplomatic points to justify taking Tangiers, even though we did have a claim on it. Here, we're taking this land. That's totally fine. Everybody expected us to take this land because we have claims on it. So we are going to take all of Granada here. There's other things we're looking at. We're looking at this aggressive expansion. This is a diplomatic cost to taking this land. This is how this is how other nations will notice us as a warmonger, right? We're building aggressive expansion with other nations. But here's the thing. Catholics don't care if we beat up on Sunnis. Only the Sunnis are going to care. In fact, only the people that care about Granada are going to care if we conquer Granada. France doesn't care about Granada. They don't care. Portugal doesn't care. Portugal doesn't like Granada. Tlemcen likes Granada. Morocco likes Granada. Tunis likes Granada. They're going to care. And Granada, Morocco, and Tlemcen are going to actually say that, hey, we're willing to join a coalition against you if you do this. We are willing to unify ourselves against Castile if you do this. Now, 3 nations is the minimum number of nations to make a coalition. However, these 3 nations we don't care about. Funny thing is, Granada is not going to exist in a second, right? If we take this land from Granada, they won't even exist, so they can't really be a member of a coalition if a coalition doesn't, if they don't even exist. So you need 3 is the magic number here. 50 is the magic number of aggressive expansion for how much to make a country eligible for a coalition. So this will put Morocco, Tlemcen, and Granada over the 50 threshold to join a coalition. But for the most part, we notice that it's only going to be Tlemcen and Morocco. They can't form a coalition against us. Even if they did, it's not scary enough. We could beat up Tlemcen and Morocco all day long. If Tunis was joining, if the Mamluks were joining, if the Ottomans were joining, that would be something to consider. But right now, this is fine. It's a big number. 55 is a big number. And if we were in Italy right now, we'd have to worry about that. That'd be a big deal if we were in Italy. But right now, over here in Iberia, beating up the Sunnis, nobody that we care about really cares. It's going to create a little bit of overextension. This is an internal stability issue. Internal issue. So overextension is how it affects our internal stability. Aggressive expansion is how it affects our diplomatic relations with the countries around us. And the admin cost is how much we're going to have to pay in order to remove this overextension, that lack of stability that we're getting because of that. So, and what we can do is the only thing we could really do if we're full annexing them, basically what I'm doing is I'm just clicking on the provinces I want. Hey, I want all this. It's going green. It's highlighting in bright green to say this is the land that would be transferred to us. Red is the land that just belongs to the enemy, basically, right? This is the land that belongs to Granada. We just click on what we want. I want it all. I want it all. We have a mission to take it all. We need to take it all. We can also have them annul treaties and stuff, but this doesn't make sense because they're not going to exist. Granada will no longer exist after the war based on this condition of us taking all this land. However, we can rob their treasury. So we can just take this and just steal all their money. But it doesn't make sense to have them transfer trade or anything like that because fundamentally they won't exist. It won't exist. So here we go. Rating 7.5 prestige. Reading some prestige for winning this war. And there we go. Peace. They have accepted our generous peace offer. Of course, we had a 100% war score, so they were going to accept anything we could have asked for, basically, right? Now we have this new button up here. Some of your provinces lack cores. Okay, we have 37% overextension. This is affecting all kinds of things like our trade power and diplomatic reputation, or our ability to improve relations and yearly corruption, all kinds of national unrest, right? Which is a big deal because right now we have a huge amount of national unrest because, well, we're in the middle of a civil war. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and go to manage, right? We need to manage this 37% overextension. If you get this over 100%, it is bad news bears. Over 100%, it is a full meltdown of country. Terrible events just explosions will be happening all over your country. It's not that scary, but as a new player, you want to avoid going over 100%. You can go over 100% for a little bit or this or that or whatever, but 100% is when things get bad. Up to that, it's just you're getting penalties. We're just getting negative modifiers. This doesn't actually create nasty events. If you're over 100%, you will actually actively have nasty events against you. So we need to coral this. This is going to cost us admin points. Admin points, okay. Which is bad because we're trying to get admin points right here, right? We're actively trying to get more admin points so we can get technologies. We're getting behind on technologies, and we have the Renaissance to worry about now. This is actually a full-on disaster over here. We need to focus admin as soon as we get a chance. We'll be able to do that in 12 years, it says. We also need to get this person out of here. We need the queen to take over. We need the heir to take over. This is just not good. This is all kinds of not good. Looks like Enrique here is a male though, which is kind of a bummer. Does Aragon still doesn't have? No, they do have an heir now. They have a 3-year-old heir. Strong claim is our family. So there you go. Oh, Aragon has a female ruler. Aragon has a female ruler. The Iberian wedding, I think, can happen at any moment. Now that we're out of war, we might need to get out of this civil war, but this is really good. We have a chance to inherit Aragon. We have a chance to unify our two countries. And we would, as the player, we would be in control of that. That would be huge. Okay, we finished the mission to reclaim Andalusia. There we go. Ooh, more options here, more options. Fate of the Kingdom of Granada. The religion would immediately become Catholic in all of these areas, but we would lose 2 stability. Yikes. Now we do have a mission, right, to convert, to remove, and have basically all of these provinces be Christian, be Catholic. And this will give us permanent claims on Malta, which is kind of cool. Malta's like over here, right? And which is actually controlled by Aragon, so I guess it doesn't matter that much, but kind of neat. In northern Morocco area as well, so we'll get permanent claims on all this. So we do want to do that, for sure, right? For sure. However, I think the free stability is actually going to be the better thing here, because we notice that we have to get 1 stability. We have to go +1 stability in order to get out of this disaster. We need stability at least 1. I think we do this. We can convert this stuff manually. It will be a problem, but there's other ways we'll be able to do it. We will be able to convert it manually. We need this stability. So we are in a national crisis right now, and losing 2 stability would just make it so much worse. We still have the military access with Portugal. Portugal will ally us here. Let's do it. Let's get the alliance with Portugal. We have 30 spy network with Tlemcen, so I can just click on a province. And we can click on the ones that are within range, right? We can only get claims. We can only fabricate claims on the ones that are adjacent to our country, either via sea tile or some other thing. So if I go to fabricate claim, it shows these three. These three happen to be the coastal provinces that touch the Gulf of Almeria, that touch our land by sea. We can't make a claim on Tlemcen or these provinces back here and stuff. Only the ones that we have a direct connection to. So we can look and see and think about which ones we want to actually make the claim on. Now the interesting thing is it's possible that Tunis, if they continue to conquer Tlemcen, or if they attack Tlemcen, they might try to take some of this land over here to the right. That is a good province to have, but I think what we do is we sneak over here and maybe we take one in the middle. We claim one in the middle, and that'll sort of make sure that even if Tunis takes some land, we'll still be able to have a claim on Tlemcen. Tlemcen would be a good country, and we can just go for more claims. We can keep building up a spy network and keep building more claims on them. That's totally fine. Totally fine. So one thing that we're going to have to do, where's our navy? Let's get our navy back home. So we need to start building up our sailors here. Is we need to get an amphibious landing over... Oh, it looks like these guys actually teleported out of there. So we need to send a couple thousand troops to the islands to re-siege that. And we only need 1,000 to do a re-siege, right? But because they've taken some attrition, they're not at like full strength. This is really, really good. We're about to undo the civil war. Let's do that. Let's make that our goal for this episode. I'm attaching these guys. We haven't actually transported any troops via transports yet, have we? Oh, wait a second. Okay, hold on. We don't need the whole navy. We don't need the whole armada escorting these 2,000 dudes. Hold on. Okay, whatever. They're all going, I guess. We only needed the cogs. Let's get the light ships, get them protecting trade again in Seville. Let's get the heavy ships back home because they're too expensive. And then the cogs that are left, we need to transport. So we have 2,000 dudes on here, so let's transport them, move them onto this province where we'll be able to re-siege that. Because what we're trying to do, if we look at our national disaster, right? We look at our Castilian Civil War, we need fewer rebel-controlled provinces than one. Spawned rebels are not pretenders. Okay. That tells us right away that what we need to do is we need to re-siege this, re-siege all of these provinces, and we will be out of the Civil War. It will be gonzo. Fortunately, this is a fort. It's going to take 6,000 men to sit on that. Let's get everybody else in Toledo, and you guys could actually be drilling and all kinds of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have our leader, our ruler, actually go and siege this down. We're kind of doing a little bit of micro here, and you can pause the game, you know, as much as you want to do this. Attach to transport. I'm taking these 2,000 troops, attaching them to the transport, sending them home. What I'd also like to do is get our trade fleet to have our admiral working in our trade fleet. That gives a little bit of maneuver, helps these trade ships do a little bit more of an efficient job. I think we're still over our... we're losing money because we're reinforcing the armies. We have about 2,500 men that need to be reinforced from the pool. These are regiments that are not at full strength, right? We can see regiments here that are clearly not at full strength. Move everybody back into Toledo here. Send these guys there. These 7,000 will be sufficient. These heavy ships in the cogs, we don't need them anymore. We can mothball them. We don't need to pay for... This is not a good fort, actually, because it is... Not a good fort because it is a drylands. However, we are noticing that this is a very hostile area. There's a lot of unrest here. It's off the chart. It is literally off the charts. So having this fort here will actually help us protect that. Same with over here. With this fort's really good for because it's in the mountains. Having forts in the mountains are good because you could see how mountains prevent movement, right? Or sorry, forts prevent movement during war. We couldn't move past because Fez was blocking us, right? There's a castle fort in Fez that was physically blocking us from moving down this way, okay? And essentially, The fort, not only does it inhibit our movement, but if Morocco would have attacked us on Fez, they would have been the defender in the mountains. In mountains, you can imagine like controlling the fortress in the mountains gives you a huge advantage against the people that are just sitting, in tents outside the walls down a mountain. I mean, so mountains are good defensive provinces to have forts, and they're good places to attack as a defender, like as someone defending the land. Because if Morocco's sitting here and they're sieging this, if we attack into them, even though we're attacking their units, we're going to be the defender because the fort is going to sandwich them. The fort is essentially going to give us the defender bonus, which is a huge benefit, especially when you're fighting in hills or mountains and stuff like that. And we'll see how that works as we continue to play the game and stuff. All kinds of just negative stuff here. Losing just army tradition, all kinds. We haven't talked about army tradition is how we get better generals, and it just gives us more morale and all kinds of amazing stuff. Siege ability, just all kinds of amazing stuff. We don't want to lose 15% naval and army tradition. That's crazy. That is crazy. Naval tradition helps us with protecting trade, and obviously naval battles, losing 75 in minute power, you just can't do that. We have to make the nobility upset. We have to make the nobility upset again, but it is going to make the advisors cheaper, at least for what that's worth. For what that's worth, I guess. So once this is over, we have cleared the Castilian. The Castilian Civil War is cleared as soon as this ends. We have royal marriages with all of the people that we have allied. And we could also look at some other things that we could do to our rivals, right? So if we look at our rivals, we have France, England. We can actually do something called, we can embargo these guys because they're our rivals, and that can give us more power projection. We haven't talked about power projection. Power projection is a stat up here that gives us more morale, gives us global trade power, yearly legitimacy, yearly prestige, all kinds of good stats. If we can get this to 50, though, we can get some really nice benefits, including extra monarch points, admin, diplo, military, extra points per month if we can get that to 50. It's very, very good. We can't do it on Morocco because unfortunately you cannot start an embargo on a country you have a truce with. So Morocco is not an option there. We have 25 spy network. Every time you get a claim, the cost goes up by 5. So we had a claim here already. Let's get another claim here. But we can keep building, and we can just build up to 30 and get another claim there, and we can have a full claims on Tlemcen. What's going on here? Gain 1 stability? Heck yes. We lose tolerance to the true faith until the death of our ruler, which I'm hoping that the guy dies sooner rather than later, to be honest. That's what we're hoping anyways. Getting a free stability is better than the alternative, though, I'll tell you that much. So we'll take the free stability. There we go. +2 stability. Let's go. Let's go. Now, we can't convert this land yet. We now have Sunni land inside our country. If we go to the religious map mode here, we can see that this is Sunni land. This is bringing down our religious unity. These people here are not of the Catholic faith. The people that live in these areas, these are very much Granada and Sunni people. They don't have the same ideologies and thought processes as us. That creates strife and rebellion in these areas. We want to work on that, but to do that, we're actually going to have to finish this core, right? We're already making these areas. We're already working our administrative magic to make these areas part of our core country. We have a rebel uprising coming. Okay, so we have, okay, here we go. We have all kinds of rebel uprisings going on here. Now, luckily, if we get this siege, this will actually go away. That's 35,000. Okay. We have a bad option here. Bad choices, guys. All bad choices. I do not want to fight 35,000 rebels. This would also propagate and expand the civilian civil war. What we need is we need this siege to end, but it's taking forever, right? I mean, how long have we spent? We've only actually technically spent a couple months on it, it looks like. So it's only... Siege has been... Oh, it says it's been going... Never mind. It's been going for 368 days. That's something else, apparently. It's been going for a year, and we're not making a lot of progress on it, to be fair. But I do not want this to happen. We have a few options. We have something called harsh treatment. Whoops, wrong thing. Harsh treatment. Okay, so we can spend 200 military points to reduce their progress by 30%. They're at 90 right now. They are at 90. That's not good. That's not good. Because essentially the way these rebellions work is they build up progress every single month. And here it's saying there's a 35% chance that they'll gain 10% progress. When they get to 100%, it's bingo. It's bingo. They go boom at that point. So what we can do is we can actually sort of we can do this to try to slow them down a little bit by... Is this even working? We're in Rust map mode here. Maybe? I'm not sure. Let it run for a few minutes. Yeah, we did reduce the chance. We reduce it a little bit more? Not really. We do not want that to happen. We do not want that to happen. Okay. We got lucky that month. It did not happen in August. We'll see if it happens again. We'll see. But hopefully if this siege came in, the whole thing would end. And like, we're at 0%. We're so close. We're so close. We might end up paying. We could spend 200 military power to stomp this out. If we can reduce them by 30% progress, it takes them back to 60%. And without question, I think, we would have a very good likelihood of just basically getting this done, getting the siege done, before they could rebuild that progress. We could see the Moroccan Separatists are building up in Tangiers. These are Moroccan people of the Sunni religion that live here that are literally, they have separatism. So there's 21% unrest here. That doesn't mean there's a 21% chance of a rebellion. That means there's a 21% chance, or the total unrest all added together, of actually adding to that progress. So the 21% chance is making a 17 total chance per month that these get up to 10% progress. So they're at 50% right now. So what I'm going to try to do is, there's a little sneaky thing, and I don't even know if I should be... Yeah, they're at 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy them down. So there's a little sneaky little trick where if you pause at the first of the month, you can see if they go to 100%, because the rebels don't spawn until the second of the month. This would be devastating. 36,000 dudes rising up against us to refuel the flames of the Castilian Civil War right before it's about to end. Literally right before it's about to end. We were so close. If this siege had gone a little bit better, we're going to harsh treatment them. That's 200 military points that we're never getting back. Puts them down to 70, okay? We're fine. No rebellion. They're not at 100%. Otherwise, on the second day of the month, they would have popped up there. So now we're totally fine. We just need to get this done before this gets to 100, and we're totally fine. We are going to have to... This will rise up, though. The Moroccans 100% will rise up. We'll just have to deal with them, but it's only 7,000 troops. And we won't be in the middle of a civil war, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. The Grenadans are also going to rise up too. It's actually interesting that the Grenadans have not progressed as fast as the Moroccans have progressed. Kind of strange there, because there's a lot of unrest down here in Granada. There we go. One extra stability. Let's go. Oh, let's go. We could even reduce unrest even more, but I don't think we need to be honest. Because our unrest is already very low, and the nobility thing is going to fix itself in a few months. That's not going to be a problem. But our unrest is already very low. The rebellions that we're getting are not going away. The Tangiers is going to happen at some point. Granada is going to happen at some point. We can't... These are at 11% unrest. Minus 2% is not going to change anything. I don't want to pay ducats in an admin power if I don't. I just want to build legitimacy if we can. Whew. There we go. These guys no longer need to suppress rebels. So what I did here is I also used the manage autonomous rebel suppression to basically... troops... Guys, I'm sorry. I took that for granted, didn't I? Troops essentially can suppress rebels by just standing in a province. But they've added this really nice feature. I think you need a DLC for this potentially, to just automate the suppression over the entire state areas, and I can just automate it here. It weakens the effect of these troops to be able to suppress these areas. It does weaken their effect, but it does also just help in it helps in pushing down those unrest numbers and making it less likely that those areas actually rebel, right? So we can make this stated land. Actually, we have a number of different things. We have a bunch of things. So we have finished the Civil War. Hooray for us. We have rebellion that's still coming in the form of separatists and all kinds of stuff. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this episode. Next episode, we're definitely going to have to work on some stability things and look at the diplomatic situation between us and Aragon. It'd be amazing if we could get something to move there and towards the Iberian wedding. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.